Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. We are here for SRS for their season 3 round 10 Spa-Francorchamps. So let's have a quick look at the track details. The length of this track is 7.004 kilometres, so just over 7 kilometres in length, and we've got the 4.352 in miles, if you prefer that in miles. We've got 19 corners here, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. We're going to have 22 laps of racing. There's 2 DRS zones, and the tyres that we're going to be using also are the soft C4, the C3 mediums and the C2 hard compound tyre. It looks like Idle North is the only one who is on the C3 at the moment, but has still yet to leave the garage, so that can change. We've got 19 drivers here tonight now, and we're just going to have a quick look at the Tier 2 standings here. So after round 9 in Bahrain, which have been missed unfortunately, we've got Benji, who is at the top of the standings on 210 points. In second place is Gertjan on 193. On 177 sitting in third is Fake Scouser. Then we've got Ross in fourth on 173. On 127 is Navi on in fifth place, and then we've got Night Flash is in sixth place with 123 points. Then we have CJ Drama in 7th on 117, 105 points for Pahandro. Then we've got Idle North in 9th on 102, and in 10th place we've got Naismith on 95 points. Now, right now I think we've just seen some drivers there just start doing their laps, as we see the little indicator at the standings letting us know. We've got Faulkner here, who is just coming down into Brussels, formerly known as Ravage, and now through No Name and down into Puon, turn 10 and 11. And he actually goes out wide there, unfortunately, so that's going to be an invalidated lap time. We'll go to Dan right now, and let's see if he's going to be doing that any better. And unfortunately, he's struggling to turn that Red Bull, it seems. It's not exactly going well for them there. We've got Doubted String, invalidated their lap time. Ha is in 11th. Well, actually, it's not set a time yet. Has invalidated their time. We'll go on with Swinney right now, and we'll see how they are going to fare as they're coming through La Source and then all the way down into Eau Rouge, picking up a little slipstream, it seems, from the car ahead. Is that his teammate? I think it is. That's I think that is another Racing Bulls. We've got Northover, who has just put in the fastest time at 144.3, and it was their teammate. That was Ben helping out Swinney there to get a good run down the Chemo Straight. So nicely done there. A bit of teamwork there from the Racing Bulls. Can we see a good result coming from them, as they certainly looks like they know how to work together anyway. We've seen Naismith also put in a time, 144.249. Just slightly quicker, just a tenth quicker than Northover. And over this long track, that is not much. But unfortunately, Swinney has fluffed it at Puon and has ended up invalidating their lap time, going a bit wide. We've got Faulkner, who has crashed out. That seems to have crashed out coming out of No Name. Oh, so they're going to be starting from the back of the grid, it seems. But unfortunate for them there. Now, I'm just trying to have a look. Just sorting stuff. Let's see the chat. There we go, that's the chat sorted a bit better there. Oh, Nivi went and put in a 143. First person into the 143s. Just beating out Naismith by 4/10 of a second, just over 4/10. Nicely done from them. Let's see. Got Pahandro coming to the line. Nico, provisional pole position at 143.373. Nice time there from the Mercedes driver. We're going to go down and see Fake Scouser is just coming around the Fania chicane and into Campos, keeping it within them white lines through the curve of Paul Fieri. Now all the way down this straight, coming up to Blanchimont. Turn 17 on this track right here. Flat out left-hander all the way down into the what would formerly be known as the bus stop section, now changed. Now it's just known as the final chicane, if I do remember right. Still, everyone knows it as the bus stop chicane. It comes across the line, goes P2, 143.750. Just seen that Nivi went quicker and put that Williams into third place. We're going to go further down to see, we've got CJ Drama just pulling out the way of, I think that may be Swinney there, is it? Yep, it was. Oh no, that was actually Ben just in front. Swinney's actually picking up a decent toll. To the point where that Aston Martin no, that wasn't CJ Drama. That was the other Aston Martin of Idle North actually going off the track just to ensure that he can't get any slipstream. Swinney's used up all his battery going into the final chicane. So he doesn't get a good launch coming out the final chicane to the line at 145.350. Good enough for 8th place for now. So we've got F1 fan. Am I right in saying F1 fan, you are Night Flash? Am I right? I'm unsure. You're saying going to be a tough race, last to first for Benji. Yeah, I think he got a qualifying ban, unfortunately. So he's not going to be taking part in this. Is sitting at the top of the standings though, so he's got it all to lose. Yeah, I thought that. I wasn't sure, to be honest. Night Flash, I wasn't sure if it was yourself or not. It's been a while since I've been in the commentator's box. Just life has been eventful. Let's see how Alpha Cheebs is going. Coming through Brussels, and doesn't seem like they're on a time. No, it doesn't seem like the Ferrari is on a lap at the moment. Isn't using any battery, so I think they're... Oh no, they are. They're just being careful with it seems. Coming through the Fania chicane into Campos. Oh, big lag spike there. Benji's saying, I'm taking part, but I won't set a lap. Is that allowed though? I think you can only do like one out lap and just straight back into the pits. If I remember right, that was the rule as of before, because something to do with your setup not getting saved for the race. It was a bit weird. Nightflash saying, glad to have you streaming again, man. Yep, it is good to be back in the commentator's box. Let's see, we've got a McLaren of Ha coming through pull on. Does it quite nicely. Doesn't go over the white lines. Taking a bit too much of that curve there going into the Fania chicane though. Did end up slowing them down with the touching on the grass and missing the apex for the second part. Let's see how they're going to do. Coming through Blanchimont right now. Nicely does that into the chicane. I'm noticing that quite a lot. Some drivers actually using up their deployment going into the final chicane. It's a bit of a weird one for that. We've got Hart putting in a 145.586, good enough for 9th place in that papaya orange. I was going to say Ferrari, McLaren. Let's see further down. We've got Dan, who's on a lap now, coming into Brussels. Let's see, coming into Puon now, turn 10, 11. It's actually considered 2 corners, which is a bit weird. Sometimes I sometimes don't understand that, to be honest, how you, like Jeddah for instance, got so many corners when there's not really a corner, but hey ho. Let's see Dan coming through Paul Fieri into sector 3 now. One of the few drivers who have yet to set a lap. Benji won't be setting a lap, so and I'm thinking, as of a previous one, I think Mean Man Moody and Soph won't be setting the laps either. I think we usually see that from the pair of them. Let's see, we've got Dan, goes into 7th place with a 144.266. Let's see, we've got Northover just coming back to the pits, it seems, or getting ready for a lap. Most likely makes sense to be going and coming back to the pits. And Naismith is running out of fuel. We've got Nivi, who's in P3 at the moment. Let's see if we get that to come up. Yep, they're actually up on their time by 3/10. Can they actually catch Pahandro, who put in a belter of a time of 143.373? There's actually 4/10 up on Fake Scouser in second, but looks like this is going to be a good lap from Nivi, but he's used up his deployment. Oh, and he just sneaks in there ahead by 300ths of a second, sorry. Jeezy peeps, Nivi getting a good time in there, 143.339. Let's see, we've got CJ Drama. We'll sit with them for a moment. 2 seconds, folks. So CJ Drama, they're managing to move up and put that into 10th position, just behind Idle North, these teammates. So quite close together are the Aston Martin drivers. I think we've seen that just the other week there in, was it Hungary? For the Hungarian Grand Prix. I think it was, yeah, the 2 Aston Martins were actually really close together in qualifying. Still managed to do quite well in the race, so that was always quite refreshing. As a Fernando Alonso fan, it is good to see. So let's see, who is anyone else on a lap right now? Alpha Cheebs? Nope, not on a lap. So everyone getting prepared for their final runs. Everyone out on track, and it looks like Is it going to be Ha? Yep, it's going to be Ha who's on a lap. We'll just sit with them and see how things will go for them. Coming down into Eau Rouge, then up through Radion. 4 foot flat to the floor with the DRS wide open all the way down the Kemmel Straight into Lake Holm before breaking at the 100 metre board. No, actually just after the 100 metre board, my mistake. Through that right left chicane. Now going down into Brussels. See how well it is going to go for them. Currently sitting in P12 with 145.586. How well are they going to do here? Oh, take too much, and that's going to be an invalidation. Just turning in that bit too early, going into put-on. We've seen that happen a few times in the past. Let's see. We've got Gertjan, who's done quite well in previous outings. I think she's got 3 wins in the previous 4 races. And is sitting P2 in the standards right now, and it looks like, is that Northover just behind? Yep, Northover trying to get a cheeky slipstream there from the Sauber. I think he knows the Sauber is a bit quicker than him, but it's not going to be working out since they're both on flying laps. We'll sit on board with Northover just now as they're coming down into Brussels. And he's really been hindered by this, I think. He's getting the slipstream, of course, but then he's also getting the dirty air as well. All that turbulent air that's going to end up slowing the car down, going through the corners, as it's not going to provide an effective airflow. And because of that, Northover has ended up invalidating his lap time. Gertjan on 144.220 is coming through the Fania chicane and now into Campos. We've got Nivi, who is not coming out, well, never came out, and they're sitting on provisional pole for the time being. Let's see if anyone else is going to be able to trump that 143.339. Pahandro will only need to go a little bit quicker, just a few hundredths of a second quicker. Gertjan approaching the final chicane, coming out of the final corner. What time are they going to be able to put in? 143.810, managed to move up into 4th place. Pahandro takes that pole position. Well, provisional pole position of 143.288. Fake Scouser in the Alpine, what are they going to have to say about that? Not much, unfortunately. Did improve on their time, but not enough to improve on position. We've got Naismith, who's in 5th place, 143.834, coming around the final corner to the line. And they improve, just nipping ahead of Gertjan, dropping Gertjan down into 5th position. Who is going to be up next? We've got Doubted String. Let's see how they are going to fare coming into the final corner. Final corners, sorry. And then after that, we've got Dan, who's just coming up right behind them. We've got Doubted String goes into P5, and then we've got Dan coming through and goes P4. So Doubted String ends up getting put down into 6th place, and Dan in 4th place, 143.544 for Dan, and Doubted String 143.709. 2 thousandths of a second. He just missed out on that 5th position there, but unfortunate there for Doubted String. Yep, definitely great lap by Pahandro, and Dan was certainly cooking it there. Quite close, everybody is there, so we'll get a quick rundown before we end up moving on to the main event, which is going to be, I think it's 22 laps of racing. Somehow I'm doubting myself that it's actually went up to 23, and it was seen 23 in the pre-game lobby. I'm unsure, but yeah, we're just waiting for everyone back in the pits, and there we go, that's them back in the pits. So there we go, Pahandro getting that pole position, 143.288. Next to him, well, lining up next to him is going to be Nivi in second place. Third place for Fake Scouser, Dan in fourth. Naismith in fifth, Doubted String in sixth, seventh for Gertjan, Northover in eighth, ninth for Idle North, 10th for CJ Drama. Then we've got Swinney and Ha in 11th and 12th, and 13th is Ben. And we've got Alpha Chibs in 14th, 15th for Faulkner, Mean Man Moody, Benji, Big Balls, and Sove. Did not come out and set a lap time. And they'll be starting at the back of the grid in 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Now we're going to be moving on to the main event, the race. Let's see how things are going to be unfolding for everyone. Sorry folks, was just checking to see the if the formation lap was on or not, and it appears it is not, so we'll see how that is going to unfold. Here we go folks, we've got all the red lights and we are getting ready to get going again, and here we go, 22 laps of racing have now begun. Looked like Pahandro managed to get a good start. He's got that inside the line. We've got Alpha Chip. The Mercedes has been turned around. It's at the back of the grid there. We've seen, I think that was a Red Bull there going off the track. I think that was Dan. He's all the way down. Lost 9 places. We've got someone who's actually fallen right down the order. That is Doubted String. Oh, after such a good qualifying there. We've got the Alpine of Doubted String, Pahandro and Naismith both in the Mercedes all the way down at the back of the grid. And now we're going into, we're seeing this is actually chaos here. We've got Benji who's up 8 places already and is now fighting with Ben. And that was chaos there. What had happened there? Who was that? We've got Naismith and who is that? That's Big Balls there. And it looks like there was a little bit of contact there, but Naismith managing to get back up a position at least. Who is that that's got damage there? Was that Nivi that got bounced into the wall? Somebody ended up... we've got Ben who's retired. We should have a safety car now, I think, if he is retired on the track. But unfortunately I can't see where that is. I'm actually surprised that it isn't a safety car. Interesting. So let's have a look. Benji coming from 17th position and is up there. Big Balls and Nivi both getting penalties there. 3-second penalties for Big Balls and Nivi getting a 10-second time penalty. We've got the... Yep, exactly. It's been carnage. We've got Benji, DRS is... the Ferrari getting a bit out of shape of Faulkner. That's going to definitely hinder him. And look at the speed that Benji's got here in that Sauber. And it looks like the McLaren of Ha is blocking him off. And that's going to allow Faulkner to get past. But hold on a second. There was contact there between Faulkner and Ha there. And Benji, it seems, has ended up walking away without any damage there. Fortunately enough, it was just a little tap. We see, oh, Pahandro flying that Mercedes up the inside, desperate to get back up there to where he started. Going to move further up right now, and we'll see Northover, Fake Scouser and Gertjen all close together. Gertjen getting up 6 positions now. Faulkner is up 9. CG Drama up 6. Benji and Soph both up 9 positions also. We've got a yellow flag just there. I think it seems to be all good now. That was absolutely chaos, that first lap there, and I'm kind of glad there's been a little bit of separation now. But let's see, we've got Pahandro passing Soph going into Blanchimont. Soph managing to get a good start with and make full use of all that carnage that just happened there. Ends up losing a place to Pahandro. Let's see. So Pahandro starting on pole did end up getting a great lap in. Oh, wait a minute. Am I seeing the rain? Am I seeing some raindrops falling on the track? Yes, I am. Ooh, this is going to get spicy. Let's see how things are going to go. We've got Fake Scouser who's going to have the DRS on the silver. Is Northover going to be able to make an overtake as well? We'll soon see if that is going to happen, but Fake Scouser not getting close enough just yet. I think he was holding off on that ERS. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Big Balls has retired it in the pits. Oh, and Fake Scouser flinging it up the inside of Brussels, making a bit of contact with Gertjen, and we'll see how that one is going to fare. I think that could possibly make a little Gertjen a little upset there, but we'll see how that is going to fare for them. We're on lap 3 of this 22 lap Grand Prix. We're going to move down to Pahandro, who actually seems to be catching these guys up ahead quite quickly. Yeah, exactly, Night Flash, a little bit of cheeky contact. We'll sit with Pahandro right now and see, because he's going to be getting past Dan. If he keeps up the pace that he has coming back in this Grand Prix, then I think he's going to end up overtaking Dan quite quickly, but we'll see how that is going to unfold in the next few stages. Hart getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think is that his second one now? I'm unsure. We'll have a quick check on that. No, it was his first. It was Big Balls who got the other one. So is anyone... Swinney? Swinney's actually coming into the pits. Is that damage, or is this just for a tyre change to get onto the intermediates early? We will see. Can we see the Greenwald Pirellis? We can. It's intermediate tyres. Swinney is taking the gamble. Is Nivi going to take that gamble too? I wouldn't see any reason not to. Yep, in the pits he comes. He's got a 10-second time penalty that he's got to wait for and serve. Soph losing the position to Mean Man Moody. So the rain is falling, and you see Soph is struggling quite a bit there to get that car turned. Must be a very low downforce setup, unfortunately, and in these damp conditions right now, that's not going to be good. Pahandro, oof. Oh, Pahandro being given the squeeze going into pull, and he's got that inside line, a little bit of contact there, and pushes Hart out. I think that was fair game though. Let's see, is he going to manage to keep that corner? That Mercedes is slipping and sliding all over the place, and it's still managing to be quicker than the other folks. We've seen Dan there going off the track at Campos. Going to move further up and see the front of the field here. We've got Fake Scouser and Gertjen. Are any of them going to box? Nope, no boxing for Gertjen or Fake Scouser. Nothing for Northover, CG Drama or Faulkner. Your North Benji staying out. Everyone's deciding to stay out in this Grand Prix for now. Although we do have race control saying that there is no that the DRS is still enabled. So that's a clear indicator that it's still safe to be using it anyway. We'll see how that is going to fare though. We've got Benji looking for a run on Idle North, and I think he's got it. Using that batting, he's going to get manages to overtake him before the DRS zone. Now clearly ahead, up into 6th place there. Nicely done for Benji there. Going to move down on Faulkner, looking on at CJ Drama right now. Just ahead, who's in 4th place, and we've got Northover, who's actually lost quite a bit of time to Fake Scouser and Gertjan up ahead. They two battling it out with their lives on the line, it seems. We'll see how that is going to fare for the pair. Then it's mediums versus the hards, which is going to be the better tyre to use, or to be on anyway. Right now it's seeming like it may be the intermediates, but we'll see if it is too dry for that. Still just spittering. Trying to watch the times of Nivy and Swinney and seeing how they compare to Soph and Naismith up ahead, and Alpha Chebs. Anyone boxing on this lap? Oh, it looked like Fake Scouser was thinking about it. He's got it in the back of his mind. Maybe soon he has to box Northover and CJ Drama swapping places here. Faulkner seeing all this commotion going on is thinking brilliant. It could hopefully fling a nose up here at one point. Try and catch them off guard. On board Faulkner looking on at 4th and 3rd place there. Now it looks like Faulkner's moving up into 4th place. Oh, and CJ Drama there. I think he made a little bit of contact there. No damage, fortunately enough, for either driver. Both walking away scot-free there. Gertjan has actually managed to produce a little bit of a gap there to Fake Scouser. 1.4 seconds is the gap to the leader right now. So I'm unsure whether the intermediates are actually a good tyre to be on right now. It seems to be a bit of a crossover period. So let's see how it is going to fare for them. We'll keep an eye on this battle for 3rd position right now. Northover doing quite lovely at keeping them behind at the moment. That could all change in an instant. We're on lap 6 in this Grand Prix. Oh, let's see, Faulkner trying to throw up the outside, get the inside line for the next corner. Not going to be the case. We see Northover has a pit. Northover is in the pit, so Faulkner... Oh! What the hell happened there, Faulkner? And was that... Who was that? Who just got damaged there? Oh, it was the Faulkner there. Was it CJ Drama? I totally missed that there. Like, who it was behind. Unfortunately, Faulkner has got damage. It was the Red Bull of Dan and Faulkner making contact, wheels locking together, and that's unfortunately what happened. I think both of them just battling that a little bit too aggressively with each other, and ended up getting a bit of damage from each other there. So sorry folks, 2 seconds. Sorry about that there, folks. Looking like we're seeing... Sorry about that there. Looking like we're seeing a lot more drivers actually coming into the pits. So I think only Alpha Chebs is the only one at the back half of the... Oh, Alpha Chebs isn't in the Grand Prix, unfortunately. Looks like Dan is just trying to nurse that until he does end up needing to box for the intermediate tyres. One indicator should tell you that it's going to be already the lap before usually, is when we see Alpha Chebs come into the pits, and it's usually the lap before that it should have came in at the very least. But looking at it right now, Northover is doing quite excellent on them intermediate tyres. We'll see how it is faring for them. We'll try and get a view and see when they're going down the straight. We'll have a look at the steering wheel, and you can see the little yellow indicators, and if I could get a good enough look, I could see if he keeps the wheel still. Northover, please keep the wheel still a second. Yep, that's perfect. Yep, so it looks like the temperatures are rising to about 82 degrees, 84 degrees roughly, so it could be time to come into the pit switch at the top. 5 of the top 6 are coming in. Gertjan is the only one staying out. And fake Scouser on the softs? Everyone else on the intermediates, did fake Scouser mean that? I'm genuinely curious. Is this going to be an absolute blinder that he's pulled off, or is he just going to fluff it here? Because it looks like the rain is getting heavier, it seems. So I'm going to keep my eyes on fake Scouser here. This is a wild one to think about. How is this going to go? Is this going to be a good plan here, or is it all going to go up in the air? We'll soon see. We'll watch that gap to Benji, 1.1 seconds right now. He's actually maintaining it quite alright, it seems. Oh, we've just seen the battle here. Doubted String and Ha battling it out there, coming through Lecombe. It looks like Ha's managed to move up into 8th position. Faulkner was a sitting duck there, unfortunately. Moving from, I think it was 8th and losing 2 places, unfortunately. But Ha, never had the grip there going through that corner. And I'm actually curious, because it looks like Fake Scouser's actually doing quite well on them soft tyres. Are we still in this crossover period? Because it certainly looks like it is intermediate territory right now. But going up against Benji, he doesn't seem to be losing too much time. So if you could possibly grin and bear this right now, can this provide to be an absolute... I mean, it looks like it's soft. I mean, is DRS still on? This has honestly provided me some amount of confusion. Night Flash, if you could do me a favour, if you're able to hop in, if it's possible, if you're in the Discord, hop in their chat and find out if Scouser is on softs or if it's a bug and he's actually on the intermediates, because I'm genuinely curious. Because, well, that's the thing, DRS is still activated. And it looks like Benji's going to take the move up the inside of Lecombe. Fake Scouser having to bail out of that. And has to take to the runoff and cut the chicane, unfortunately. Losing quite a bit of ground there on Benji. He's actually catching Ross somehow. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The DRS is still enabled, so I'm just wondering if this is actually like if the rain's away to go off in like a lap or two, and he's just thought, screw it, I'll just go in the grippiest dry tyre and then just carry on from there. But then again, he'd need to make another pit stop anyway. He seems to be quite hesitant on it somehow. It's not getting proper grip. Well, watch for the braking distance. So he's going to be braking just after the 150 metre board. We'll see where the other Alpine is going to be braking. Same distance. Did manage to get it slowed down slightly quicker. We'll see. Fake Scouser into the pits now. Is this definitely going to be intermediates this time? Yep, it is. So he was on the soft tyres. That's yep, he's lost a lot of time now. The gamble didn't pay off, unfortunately. Looked like Ha and CG Drama battling out for that 9th position. Faulkner actually, but the Faulkner undoubted string that's up so far up as. So Faulkner getting up into 7th place now as we're on lap 11 in this Grand Prix. CJ Drama and Ha battling out. Has DRS actually been... Oh... I want to try and see next time I can if DRS has been disabled or not. So let's see. The closest battle right now is between Hart and CJ Drama. And then we've also got Benji catching Northover. We'll go up to Benji and Northover right now. So Benji done an excellent race up to now. Started in 17th place, which is now the back of the grid, minus the two retirees of Big Balls and Ben. Let's see how Benji is going to fare up against Northover here. So DRS is not enabled then. So DRS has been disabled, it seems. But unfortunately, it always brings an extra bit of spice to it, you know. Naismith and Mean Man Moody swapping places. CJ Drama getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Let's see how Benji, is he going to manage to get this overtake done? We've seen quite a lot of penalties in that now, it seems. A lot of drive, every single penalty there you see is a 3-second time penalty. Benji not managing to get close enough to the back of the back of Northover just yet, but Faulkner is going to be one that got close enough to Dan and has now made the move and up into 6th place there. Nicely done for the Ferrari. So everyone's on the intermediate tyres now. No one opting for dries. I'm just waiting to see, is this rain going to come off, or is it going to get heavy enough for the wet tyres? And if that's the case, if it's going to get too wet, we're going to see a red flag. Benji skimming it up Blanchimont on the inside. That was quite ballsy there from Benji. Just, and fair play to Northover, just leaving just enough room there to the white line. Ooh, getting so close there. Wait a minute. Did I actually see that right? Is Northover actually got front wing damage? It seems that he has actually. He's got missing that front right end plate. Yeah, that was certainly a great move by Benji there. Now he's got to go and catch his teammate of Gergen. Or is Northover going to be able to say something about that? I don't think so with that front wing damage, unfortunately, that end plate being missing. Whoa! Jesus Christ, that speed difference, that is definitely... That looked like a brake check to me there. I'm unsure. But holy moly, that was scary there. Honestly, that kind of reminded me of Isaac Hadjar last year I think it was last year in Formula 2, when he almost hit someone who was going slow through the tunnel at Monaco in 2024 qualifying. That was scary there. I thought we were going to see a big crash there. I have no idea, but it seemed like it could have been a brake check, because the gap was just massive there after the fake Scouser got past. That was definitely a scary moment. Oh, jeezy peeps. But I'm going to be sitting watching this gap for Benji. 6.8 there. It was just at 6.9 seconds. The gap to Gergen. Of course, they may be teammates, but in the Drivers' Championship, they are not, as they're both in first and second in the championship at the moment. So we'll see how that is going to unfold for them. Idle North has retired from the Grand Prix and has left the session, retiring in the pit lane. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was doing quite well too, unfortunately. He's now into the pits and is calling it at that. I think possibly could have got damage, and it's just like, going to end up at the back of the grid anyway at this rate. But you never know, sometimes safety cars do come out and surprises do happen. I mean, just take Silverstone this year with Nico Hulkenberg getting a podium from, what was it, 17th or 19th on the grid, which is just absolutely incredible, to be honest. Got all of his response from it though was the about getting a Lego trophy. Oh, what? But why is he turning into Casper there, man? Like, what? Alright, face shifting there it seems. What? Is Benji left again? Northover in the pits. What is Northover coming in the pits for? Is it going to be... Is it wet tyres or fresh inters? Fresh inters. He's not getting that front wing changed either. That's going to be quite the detriment. A couple of seconds there could actually change the impact of this race, but then again it is about, what was it, an extra 5 seconds of time, and unfortunately... Oh, wet tyres for Dan. Dan is on the blue walled Pirellis. We never ever see these in Formula 1. This is what I like to call the show tyre. You know, it's always just there to look pretty, but they never use it. Yeah, probably Benji's Wi-Fi. I mean, he seems to be still in the race, so it just seems to be... a bit of disconnection, maybe, like desyncing. Sorry, maybe. Of course, you don't want that in Formula One with how close these cars are battling with each other. We'll see Fake Scouser catching CJ Drama coming into pull on. Oh, see a Ferrari there of Alpha Chibs, who didn't retire the car. Nivi is into the pits. Is he going to be going onto the wet tyres or fresh inters? What is the tyres going to be for the Williams of Nivi? We'll see that change in just a second. Wet tyres, Blue Wall Pirellis for Nivi, Soph and Dan. Oh, CJ Drama there. Oh, getting a little love tap there from Fake Scouser to get him back online there. That was... I will say that was a bit of a friendly tap there, not like a get out the way sort of tap. Oh, jeezy peeps, that was a bit of interlocking there almost between the pair of them. When that happens in these wet conditions, it's pretty much impossible to get fixed and you're just going into the wall. Yeah, wet tyres are 100% cosmetic. Yep, I get that. Honestly, we never ever see them, and it's just shocking, to be honest, the fact that we never see them. If that's the case, then make the difference between intermediates and dries a bit less, and yeah, do something. It's honestly infuriating when it's a wet race and they're like, no, we're not racing because it's too dangerous, visibility stuff like. But at the end of the day, I understand the visibility stuff, but sort it out then. There's got to be something you could do. You've got engineers there, like world-renowned ones. So it's honestly surprising that they've not managed to come up with a better deal anyway. With it, well, better way to deal with the spray. Well, let's see. Naismith getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So right now we've got Silber 1-2 and 3-4 are the Alpine. So good showing out there from the Silbers and the Alpines at this moment in time, currently sitting in the top 4. They somehow made wet races boring. Yep, I 100% agree with that. Like, you look at all the great races from days prior, and the majority of them are wet weather or at least interchangeable conditions. It's madness. Like, all the most memorable ones. Like, even look at is it Canada 2011? I think it was the year that Jenson Button won it, and that was, or was it 2010? It's either 2010 or 2011, the Canadian Grand Prix, and it was absolutely incredible just how well everything happened. To be honest, it was such a fun race to watch, and I would honestly go as far to say it's one of my favourite races of all time. Soph and Mean Man Moody swapping places there. Soph moving up into 13th position. Fake Scouser and Doubted String still sitting in their places. Got Faulkner looking like the wet tyres being the better tyres. Alejandro still is actually on the fresh inters. They both pit at the same time. One on the inters, one on the wet tyres. So we'll see, is Fake Scouser going to try and risk it and go for a position on his teammate, or is he going to sit and just be careful and wait for a perfect opportunity to arise? Maybe going down at the Kemmel Straight. want to check something. Let's see. No. I was just listening to the revs there, it seemed a bit weird. Fake Scouser, it was like his thing was still green, his full bar on acceleration, but it was just like going up and down with the revs there for some weird reason. I don't know whether that be due to assists and being stronger in wet conditions or what, to reduce the wheel spin. Let's see, Fake Scouser coming up, and is he going to go for it? They're slipping and sliding, almost drifting, going down Eau Rouge and into Radion. Faulkner, 3-second time penalty. That is going to put Pahandro ahead of him come the end of the race. So we're on lap 18 in this Grand Prix, and Gertjan and Benji got a comfortable lead out in front. Both of them almost got a pit stop in hand, so it's a bit fortunate there should it come down to it. If any of them do end up needing to make a pit and get fresh tyres or fresh nose cone on, it is refreshing to know that you've got a little bit of a buffer. On board with CJ Drama, battling with Dan, or trying to get up there to battle with Dan. 6/10 is the gap, he could do this. But then again, it seems like the wet tyres are coming in and they're not for show and purely cosmetic here. So is the wet tyres the better tyres, or is it the intermediates, or is it still crossover? Ooh. I'm not going to lie, every time I see someone hitting the curbs on the apex, it gives me that slight bit of anxiety that they're away to go and spin it out. Well, one of the rules if you remember in Formula 1 is the curbs are your greatest friend except when they're wet. Or like ones in Jeddah at turn 8, I think it is, that curb on the outside at turn 8. Ugh, I hate that so much. You see so many people end up straddling it and it just bottoms out the car. Dan getting a 3-second time penalty. We'll have a quick look at penalties right now. As we'll see, it looks like CJ Drama is going to try and feed it up the inside, going into Lecombe, but he's just not quick enough. But oh, Dan has made a slight error going in. Just manages to hold off on that 10th position there. So let's see. I'm going to move further up to see Faulkner is actually doing quite well, and Doubted String is actually just holding off Fake Scouser. It doesn't seem like Fake Scouser's going for the move, even though he's being held up by his teammate. Unfortunately, that's bringing Faulkner and Northover back into the mix. Oh! Doubted String is off the track. Any damage to that Alpine? We'll soon see. Nope, doesn't seem to be. Looked like Faulkner, Northover and Fake Scouser now for that final position on the podium. Oh, Faulkner causes a little bit of a concertina effect, bumping into the back of Northover and thus bumping into the back of Fake Scouser there. No damage, it seems, to the Ferrari. So always good there, but he has got 6 seconds worth of penalties. That's going to drop him down behind Doubted String already. So if Pahandro could actually get up there, he could actually take that third place. It is still within his grasp. He just needs to try and reel that in a little bit and just hope for a little bit of an error from one or two of these guys up ahead. So no changes, it seems, up to now. Let's see. Fake Scouser's doing actually really well. Let's see what the so Fake Scouser qualifying in third has actually done quite well. I will say two drivers that have done exceptionally well here tonight is Benji and Faulkner, getting up all them positions, making full use of everything that happened, of course. But Pahandro throwing it up the inside at going off Mean Man Moody, getting a 3-second time penalty there. Pahandro going wide there. Has he picked up a warning? Quite possibly. Struggling to keep that Mercedes on the track, but does manage to avoid the barriers and such. Just went a bit too deep going into Campos, and that sort of hindered them up and ruined his line, unfortunately. And Faulkner blocking that inside line, absolutely exceptional. There wasn't anything that Pahandro could do about it. But all this battling with Faulkner is moving him down, and Swinney could actually end up getting up there, and he could actually end up behind Swinney if Swinney has got a penalty himself, 6 seconds worth, so he's busted unfortunately as well. We're going to have a quick look at tyres. So top 4 run intermediates, then it's Faulkner, and then we've got 5 intermediate runners down into 10th position. So with the top 10, only Faulkner is the one who is on the wet tyres. He's managed to do quite well on the wet tyres, I will say, getting that in 5th position as things stand. We're on the penultimate lap now. We've only got 1 lap to go after this, and we can just see, if you look down at the right hand side of the screen, we can see Gergen just coming through Blanchimont and into the final chicane. There we go, we've got Gergen just coming across the line and coming into turn 1 for the final time in this Grand Prix. Has run an excellent race, coming up from 7th on the grid to get up there and get into first position. We're going to go on board with Northover right now. Is this going to be all to play for here, as they've only got just about 7 kilometres to battle this out and to find out who's going to be on that final step of the podium, who's going to get that P3, that bronze trophy. Let's see who is going to be Northover or Fake Scouser. Williams versus Alpine. We've got Fake Scouser in third place right now. He's got an exceptional amount of battery, and it seems that Northover's got the remaining amount, as it was 75% for Fake Scouser and 25% for Northover, so big difference there in battery coming into a source. Going to look further back there at Pahandro and Faulkner. Pahandro doesn't need to do anything, really just sit comfortably behind. But also, if Northover or Fake Scouser do end up with a penalty, then he could just miss out, unfortunately. Let's get back to this battle here for third position. Is Northover going to go for it? Is he going to be able to get close enough? They're almost even on battery now, so that is a good thing for Northover. Now he just needs to have a wee bit more gusto and just go for it. But then again, Fake Scouser is providing excellent defensive strategy there, positioning that car perfectly and just getting the correct amount of speed there and holding off quite well. But I can see that the fuel indicator is flashing. Can Fake Scouser last until the end? He's got just enough fuel to get him to the end, but that is going to be a tight one. And he just has enough to get that third place there. That was exceptional there from Fake Scouser Northover. Just missing out Pandro going up into 5th place and Faulkner in 6th. But that is not to forget Gergen and Benji, who were simulating Red Bull back in 2023. Doing their Red Bull impression and just leading by the whole grid. And by an exceptional gap, I will say so. Nicely done to them. We're just waiting on Dan, Naismith and Soph coming through. So we've got Dan there crossing the line, getting that 11th position. Then we've got Naismith in 12th crossing that line. And then we're just going to be waiting a few moments on Soph. So that was, and we've got Alpha Chebs as well, who unfortunately disconnected and left the session. And there you have it, folks. That is the end of the Grand Prix, and that was quite an exceptional one. A lot of chaos happening and a lot of carnage at the... A lot of carnage happening on the opening lap. And there we go, we've got the Silvers of Gerchen and Benji in 1st and 2nd, and Fake Scouser in 3rd place. Exceptional drive from all 3 of them. Silver team will be definitely happy with that outcome. And I will say I'm going to have to agree, give it to Benji there, I will say, for the for that managing to Jesus Christ, managing to get up there and get that 2nd place there from 17th on the grid. So nicely done from him. We're going to go to the final standings there. We see Gergen getting that win, Benji in 2nd, Fake Scouser in 3rd. Then we've got Northover in 4th place, Pahandro in 5th. Great race from them as well. Doubted String getting the fastest lap, 148.405 before the rain fell down. Getting that 6th place, Faulkner in 7th, 8th for Swinney. Then we've got 9th for CG Drama, Hat in 10th. Then we've got Dan in 11th, 12th for Naismith, Soph for in 13th, Meanman Moody in 14th, 15th for Nivy. Then we've got Alpha Chebs, who disconnected, so won't be counted. And we've got Idle North, who was the other 2, Big Balls, and Ben, unfortunately, disconnected, retired, sorry. So a bit unfortunate for the 3 of them. But we'll have a quick look. Got Night Flash saying, great race, really entertaining. It was actually quite entertaining, so yeah, it was an entertaining race, and I will say, seeing Benji getting up there from 17th on the grid, I will say that was exceptional drive. Doing it quite nicely there, to be honest. So let's have a look. We'll have a quick look and see what the next race is going to be. And funnily enough, just since I was talking about wet races, and one of my favourite wet races being Canada, and that is going to be up next, and it's going to be reverse grid. So I'll need to get some more details on that, whether it be reverse grid championship order, so Benji could end up being starting at the back of the grid again. Fun times for him. Fun times. So there we have it, folks. Until next time, it is peace out.